tanto jugando suelto como en competición. Tanto si se trata de un rápido 9 hoyos o de un gran 36. Tanto si juegas bajo presión o arrasando, siempre das lo mejor de ti. Nuevo fuel de FootJoy.
Okay, we'd like to welcome Cameron Smith to the interview room here at the 2022 RBC Heritage. Cameron, you've had a nice start to the season, a couple of wins, being the Century Tournament of Champions and the Players Championship, a couple of stellar tournaments. I just want to start with last week. Obviously, you know, in contention at the Masters, it was an emotional week, great playing. Just talk about what that week was like, and then heading here to the RBC Heritage afterwards.
Yeah, it was a really good week. Another really solid week. Yeah, felt really, I guess, comfortable last week, and it was nice to kind of be in contention on Sunday. To not quite get it done was perhaps a little bit frustrating, but you know, Scotty played some pretty good golf there towards the end, so hats off to him. But yeah, just a couple of days rest for me after. I haven't touched a golf club since playing the Pro-Am this morning, and I'll rest again this afternoon.
I was going to say to you, you know, after a stressful week like that, a lot of emotions, how do you deal with, you know, the Sunday night and the next few days before you tee it up the following week?
Yeah, I think after last week especially, being in contention the whole week gets quite mentally draining and just exhausting. So yeah, a couple of days off. I went back to Jacksonville, spent a day there with and then we come up here yesterday afternoon and yeah, took it pretty cruisy again.
And a lot of guys, just before we take some questions, a lot of guys enjoy coming here after a week like a major championship. It's got that relaxed vibe. This is your sixth start here. You finished in the top 10, I think, one time when you were leading after the first round. You've obviously got some familiarity with the golf course. When you come here after, you know, being in contention at a major, what's it like when you come here with the expectation of performing well again?
Yeah, I try not to put too much expectation on myself typically. I'm more of a process kind of person. I'll get out there today and just try and tick a few boxes that perhaps we missed at the end of last week or this week, at the start of this week. Yeah, so just really go out there, free up in the Pro-Am. Pro-Am's always a nice way to start the week, and just try and have some fun with it.
Okay, we'll take some questions. Anybody have a question for Cam? Just raise your hand and we'll get a microphone to you. Shane, we'll start with you. Shane Ryan.
Very simple question, Cam. How do you feel right now? I mean, have you gotten over Augusta, or do you still feel down in the dumps?
I don't think I was down in the dumps. I was just frustrated. I feel as though, you know, I was one really good swing away from really contending, and that's just how golf is, especially around that golf course. I feel as though sometimes you can even hit really good golf shots and end up making bogeys and doubles around there. So yeah, just a little bit frustrated. My game's in a good spot. I'm happy with how I guess handled the situation after, and yeah, I'm just really looking forward to competing again this week. That's kind of in the rearview mirror now.
And then just a quick follow-up with this, right? This is dwelling, and I apologize, but I did have a question about that third hole, where to me it just seemed like such a great example of how small little things can shift the entire perspective of a round, both from your angle, maybe your second shot wasn't what you wanted, but from everything that happened to him, from the favorable drop to like the chip in. And I just want to get your sense of, you know, what does that say about golf and how these things turn on such a dime?
Yeah, I think after the first couple of holes, the momentum was definitely in my favour, and I felt as though I hit some really quality golf shots, and my game felt really comfortable. I didn't, I wasn't fazed by the situation, and then the momentum shifted basically as soon as he chipped that in, and I thought I hit a pretty decent chip shot up there, and it just ran through and missed the putt. So yeah, that's just how I guess golf just kind of shifts so quickly. even the next hole, Scotty hit it left, and I hit probably one of the best iron shots I hit all week into that front bunker, and made another bogey. So that's just how golf is. It's so fiddly at times, and it seems like sometimes those shots just go your way, and other times they don't. There's no real way to put your finger on it, I guess.
Hey, Ron?
As you've climbed the world rankings and had more success, has the biggest change been something technical in your game, or has it been something internal?
Yeah, I think perhaps maybe just a little shift of mindset with my off season. I think was probably the biggest change for me. Typically, I don't do a lot. Don't spend a lot of time in the gym. Just kind of, I've felt, I guess, in the past that we've had such a long season that it's nice to take a couple of months off. But yeah, last year was definitely different. I think I took a couple of weeks off where I just relaxed, and then yeah, really got into the gym and started working on my longer stuff, especially my longer irons and my driver. I felt as though I did a lot of work on over the off season, and I think that was the biggest change for me. Just that driver, especially, just giving me some more opportunities at birdie. And the rest of the game, I mean, hasn't really changed that much. I just think I've been in the fairway more often, and yeah, had more putts at birdie. I think if you had have asked me at the start of the year that I would have been here, I probably would have been a little bit surprised. But you know, the last couple of months I've felt really good with my game. I feel as though I'm playing the best golf of my life, and I think I'm right where I need to be. Just need to keep working hard and you know, keep putting myself in good spots on Sundays.
Okay, MK?
Cam, I'm curious, being in contention in the majors, is there anything you learned last week that will help you maybe eventually get that major win?
Not really. It's obviously a little bit of a different feeling, I think, with the atmosphere, especially Augusta. You hear so many roars and cheers for other guys, and you almost figure out in your own head what's going on without actually seeing it. But I think I've always been pretty good at just really focusing on myself, one shot at a time, really trying to play the right shot, not trying to play the shot that the circumstance really calls for. I think that's a big part of winning tournament golf, is just playing the right shot, not trying to play the situation, if that makes sense. So yeah, just really trusting the game, and yeah, the game feels good. It just wasn't my week last week.
Anything further for Cam? Cam, we saw you at the Players' Championship with your mom and your sister and your friends were there from Australia, and you hadn't seen them for a long time. But your dad wasn't there, and you just mentioned that he was there with you last week, yeah, hanging out with a couple of buddies. So how does that change you to have your mum here and now your dad here after not having seen them for a while?
Yeah, it's good. Dad actually come over at the end of last year. He spent a couple of months here, which was really nice. He was the first one that I saw from my family for over a couple of years. So yeah, now that Australia's kind of lifted their restrictions a little, starting to see more and more familiar faces, which is so good. I feel like a different person. It's been great. I missed everyone a lot, and it's just good to see them again.
Well, it's reflecting in your play as well. So if we have nothing further for Cameron, we appreciate you coming in, and good luck this week.
Thanks, man. Thanks, guys.
Nuevo Pro SL no tiene clavos, pero tiene un agarre increíble. Con una plancha de carbono adicional para optimizar el retorno de energía y un nuevo y moderno diseño, el zapato original de máximo rendimiento sin clavos tiene algunas ventajas importantes.